Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the ScaleSmart AI Podcast. Today, I'm joined by Bejoy Narayana, CEO and founder of Bob.ai. Bejoy is building AI for one of the most complex areas of housing that includes tasks like automating income verification, document-heavy compliance, and eligibility decisions for affordable housing and housing authorities. Bob.ai is already live in nearly 20 cities and scaling very rapidly. We'll talk about how Bob.ai got started, what it takes to build AI in a regulated industry, and where Bejoy sees AI having the biggest impact across housing in the years ahead. Bejoy, great to have you on the show.
Thank you, Daniel. Happy to be here.
Perfect. And to start us off, Bejoy, could you tell us a little bit about the story of how you started Bob.ai?
I've been in technology all my professional career, and I was working with IBM. And I had this idea that I should take IBM Watson services. Watson was actually the leader in AI services for some period in time. And then the idea was to take Watson services and create a general purpose AI company, software and consulting, where we would create some products for customers who need it. And then I already had a Fortune 500 food manufacturer who was interested in it when I left IBM to found the company. And their idea was to create a mobile app that people who are stacking the shelves in a store are able to talk to it and then find out where is an alternate SKU for this, or where do I find this SKU, and things like that. So that's how we got started. And then happenstance, I met with the CEO of Dallas Housing Authority. He was introduced by a friend, a mutual friend, and then I met with him for lunch, or 1 hour lunch, and then we talked for about 4 hours. So he discussed a whole bunch of problems that Dallas Housing Authority was having at that time. So everything was totally new to me. Like even the idea of a housing authority, what they did, I didn't know. But he explained everything. He was extremely generous. Troy Broussard is his name. He was very generous with his time. He introduced so many things. Out of that meeting, I came out with a small contract for optimizing their inspections. So he said, "Oh, this is a big problem for us. So we operate across 9 counties. So there is a lot of driving time." So that was so much, very much within our wheelhouse. We knew, me and the co-founder, the CTO, so we kind of knew exactly how to optimize work orders and all that. So we had a very quick win. We delivered that product in about 3-4 weeks, and then some newspapers wrote about us, and then we got a footing in the industry. It is difficult to get. It's a very small niche, so that was good for us. So it was mostly we were lucky, and then that was a long story. So we didn't have the same amount of success with other processes that quickly. So it is a much harder play. So yeah, that's how we got started.
Got it. Well, that's an incredible story, BJ, and thank you for sharing it. And in terms of the actual, your background, how did you learn how to build AI? Did you learn how to code when you were younger? How did that
Yeah,
process look like?
I'm an engineer, so I was always in technology. I was mostly working on large scale business transformation using cloud products, and even before cloud, I was on the on-premise products. So I was on those projects, large projects, and where I learned everything about technology. So all aspects of it. And then for most of my career, I focused on supply chain sides. So even in IBM, I was working on the supply chain side with the Watson Group. So we were working on creating products for IBM. That's how I got introduced to AI. So before that, we didn't have any interest or knowledge of AI. But when Watson was becoming a thing, so that gave me the opening to, oh yeah, this is what it was an eye opener. Like you could see what it could do, and then one could easily be convinced. So this is going to be the future.
Yeah, for sure. That's me and you both. The first time I got exposed to AI was also at IBM when I worked there. So that was an incredible experience. And I mean, IBM, we got to give our hats off to them, right? With Watson, what they've been able to do. I mean,
Yeah.
to be, the legend of chess back in 1997.
Yeah, I,
It's
I, I
incredible.
used to be very interested in that news. I didn't have any knowledge of it, but yeah, playing with Kasparov and all that.
Yeah. What's your take on what DeepMind is doing now with, being able to obviously have the AI agents like play all those games and be professionals?
Oh, yeah, that was in the 2015, 20, around that time. Now, I mean, I play chess, so I was also interested in that, what was going on. Right now, it looks like in a program, an ML program running on a computer could beat anybody. Like it may be infinitely better than any human. So that's yeah, that was an exciting time when the computers were getting
For
really
sure.
good at chess and yeah.
For sure. And going back to, Bob.ai, did you guys have to raise money? If so, how did that process look like?
So we are in affordable housing. So yeah, of course we had to raise money. So that process was fairly quick for us. We have some advantages in the sense, even though the government is our customer, so that VCs don't like it that much. They do expect the market. They have this understanding that the TAM is small when housing authorities are your customer, but that's really not true. We are in affordable housing, so the TAM is actually very large. So that created some problems in the race, but when we started racing, it came around in about 4 months very quickly. So we had some property managers who were very familiar with this, and they had an investment arm, so they were eager to invest. So and we are also a very frugal company, so it's mostly engineers in the company, in the founding team. So we build so our own, so we are builders, so and we are also really good at keeping the costs very low. And we've been effective. I mean, we are profitable now, and that we expect that to be really profitable next year. So, but
Yeah.
we might still do a race, like depending on our plans, and but we are profitable as of now.
Yeah, for sure. That's incredible. Obviously, everything you guys been able to accomplish so far. So hats off to you for that. And was it hard to find, the talented team that you have today in terms of all the builders?
I mean, most of the people who started working with in the company in the beginning, I knew them. So they were from my previous life, like so. It was not that difficult to create an engineering team. So to build, so we kind of knew how who to hire, and people will have contacts with them. Maybe they're not close friends, but I knew them. So that's how the team was put together. So that wasn't the hard part for us. I really understanding the problem. I mean, this is a difficult industry with a lot of nuances in the process. Difficult to make a product that would actually work for any agency, any program in the country. We make things very complicated, and we do, and that's because you give autonomy at the city level, so everyone can innovate and they can come up with their own programs and things like that. So that makes it complicated to build build software that will work across every city, every program. If it doesn't, then you don't scale. So that's a problem you have to solve. That was a harder part. I mean, hiring the right team, yeah, staying on the, taking the pain that need to be taken so that the work gets done, all that we could do.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I mean, in terms of the different locations, right? How did you guys decide what locations to start off with? Like, I know you're based in Texas. Was that the first state you started
Yeah,
off with, or how
yeah,
did that?
yeah. That is the first state. I mean, that was also by accident. I told you, right? I met with the CEO of Dallas Housing Authority, so that's how we got introduced. After that, the second customer was Oklahoma City. It's not very far from here, but
Mhm.
yeah. So that's how we got started. But it doesn't really matter. And then around that time, COVID happened, so the expectations around the project team being on site completely changed. So right now, no one is expecting a team to be on the ground for implementations to happen. And then we are putting a lot of AI into the implementation itself. That's one of the biggest innovations that we have done this year.
Got it.
So the the implementation of the software, which is actually a difficult thing for a housing authority with that much of workload. They don't have IT expertise, they don't have change management expertise, and so on. So we are bringing technology into that as well. So there is really no expectation that we would be there because the bot is there. They can call, they can talk to it, that sort of thing.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And I guess in terms of your, actual like product, if you could simplify it, what would you say is the biggest value add and like the value proposition that you guys provide for your customers?
It's a three-sided marketplace. So there are 25 million families in the U.S. who would be homeless if there is no intervention. So if there is no assistance at all provided by the government, they're likely to be homeless. So and then there are about 10,000 agencies, about 3,000 housing authorities, then the VA officers, some several non-profits whose mandate is to ensure that these 25 million families are assisted with rental homes or some form of housing. And then there are about, you can say, 250,000 owners, realtors, property managers who have affordable housing and who have an interest in working with the government. So a
Got it.
portion of their check is going to come from the government. They're willing to work. I mean, they want to work in that space. So that would be about 200,000 to 300,000. That is a number there. So we are connecting all three and making the transaction go through. So where the government can write a contract, let's say $2,000 is the rent, 1,800 is going to come from the government, 200 is going to come from the renter. So that contract can go through, that sort of thing. Every year, the income of the think about the actual transaction. In my example, $1,800 of federal tax money is going to a family every month. That's not a trivial transfer, right? It's substantial assistance a particular family is getting. So the documentation that goes with it is quite substantial as well. So doing that, verifying that, using AI for doing that, that's what we do.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a very needed thing for sure. And I'm curious, how have you seen the housing industry change over the last 10 years?
Well, I don't exactly know. I haven't. I mean, I'm sure AI is going to disrupt this industry in a big way. And my hope is that, I mean, if you think about the housing industry, I mean, I'm talking about housing authorities now. Mostly, it would apply to the VA and the nonprofits, but the numbers won't be this bad. A housing authority, one case manager would have about 800 to 900 clients assigned to her. I
Mm,
mean, one person, 800. I mean, if you think about their mandate as, hey, this case manager's job is to transition these folks to middle class. If you see your job like that, I mean, most of them are coming to this industry because they have a desire to be impactful. So that's, they have MTW degrees, and I know they have they are interested in social work. That's definitely there. That's why they sign up. They may get tired after some time, but they join this industry and they are really eager to make an impact. And this is the numbers they have. When it's extremely, it's not doable, right? I mean, you can't really work with 900 people and make an impact. So technology can help a lot. So this may be the very first time some technology is available that can meaningfully empower the employees. Then almost all of paperwork can be done by AI, and then people can really then filter out people who really need help. 85-year-old grandmother who cannot see. I mean, she's in an apartment all by herself. What do I do? So that question can really be asked, and then answered if you are not spending all your time doing doing verifications of income and things like that. Yeah.
got
I
it.
my really I sincerely hope that is where we take this technology to.
For sure. I mean, I'm a big believer in obviously AI not necessarily replacing people, but helping people be more effective at their jobs, be more efficient at their jobs. So, people are burning out less from doing tasks that they maybe aren't so, happy doing, right? Let's have the AI, the technology do the tasks that are more mundane, and let's have the people focus on more of the other tasks. So,
Yeah, I mean, Daniel, you cannot, even if you sit back and then take 30 minutes to design an industry where AI is needed, and there are very very few drawbacks to implementing AI, but huge benefits. This is one.
mhm,
Because there is no real question of people losing their jobs and things like that when you have 900 clients assigned to you. That's not the question we're talking about. The question, and also, yeah, and yeah, so that it can only have positive benefits for I mean, things could change after 10 years if super intelligence and things like that. I'm not talking about that scenario. With the AI that is available now and likely to be available in the next 4 to 5 years, this can make a huge positive impact in this industry.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess, I'm very passionate about AI agents, specifically voice AI agents.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear your perspective. What's your take on voice AI agents? Do you think that, they've gotten to the point where they're actually very good and the quality is there already?
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't say it's there already, but it's almost there. So in industries like mine, where I mean, I can imagine, you know, a bank being a little bit hesitant to implement AI agents because it may not be exactly where what a human can do, but it's almost there, and it's going to be much better than a human in many things, but it also could be. So the progress that has been made on the AI front, on the voice side, in the last 1 year has been amazing. Like that's where the most progress, in my opinion, has been made. So right now you can, that's what we are telling the housing authority, say you can take every single call and everything can be answered not by someone taking notes and then passing it on to a case manager, but by 90-95% of the problems actually resolved, so
Hmm.
that the real 5% or 10% that need to be addressed by a human can be filtered out. Then it is doable. We're talking about a scenario where 100% of the calls can be actually taken and then can be resolved. Right now, if you try to call a housing authority, you won't be able to get through. I mean, it's impossible. I mean,
That's what I've heard.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's for a very good reason. I mean, it's the industry is set up that way. I mean, if you start taking every call, nothing else can be done. I mean, there isn't enough staff to take just the calls. Even if nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I guess for you, where do you see yourself deploying voice AI agents the most to kind of help fill the gaps for your clients?
I mean, Daniel, this might look like it's not doable, but I really believe it is. It is going to be doable. So right now we are in 19 cities, so just slightly close to 26. I do expect that we can deploy AI voice agents in 1,000 cities next year.
Wow.
So that's 50 times growth, right? So I do expect that is doable because the product is there, and we have these AI agents we're talking about is not just taking a call center and taking notes. I mean, it's somewhat useless in this industry. If I mean, it's useful in the sense a call might take 15 minutes, and if you can take notes, the response can happen in 3 to 5 minutes. Like somebody can read it and then create. But that 5 minutes, or it may take 15-20 minutes of work in a system to actually respond. That is also not available. So taking these calls and then taking notes in a traditional call center is also not going to help. Like you can try that. Some housing authorities have deployed actual human call centers. You can try calling them. They will take the call, but you won't get any response back.
Hmm.
So but that can be changed, and then I think that product we can get to 1,000 housing authorities in the coming year. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that's a very ambitious plan, and you have a very good plan of getting there. So if you don't mind sharing with our listeners, how are you kind of approaching, that kind of scale of a sales
Yeah,
execution?
we don't have a sales team or a marketing team, so we are basically trying to get there through the product-led growth. So we do have a complete product now. I mean, the industry is basically using right now everything done on paper with a finance product. Everybody has a finance app. Nobody is using finance on paper. Everybody has a finance app, and then with an integration to a HUD application called Peak. So that is what the industry is using. So you have let's say a good cloud or on-premise application for writing your checks and doing your payroll and things like that, and a finance app. Everything else being done on paper. All this contracting, you will see mountains of paper, like in every housing authority. And then when this contracting is done, we have to pay for the next 12 months. That commitments are made on the finance system automatically by someone keying it in. So that is what the industry has. So now we are coming with a solution that is end-to-end ERP for the housing authority, right? So that itself is it's hard to say no to it. So when you can transition, and then we are not just stopping there. On top of it, there are AI agents that can actually perform these tasks. So and then on top of it, there is a call center.
Right.
So that product can scale by itself, because there are many reasons why one housing authority has to interact with another housing authority, especially because people move from one city to another. So that we think we have enough number of live wheels in the process for us to scale somewhat naturally.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's definitely possible, and my fingers are crossed. I hope you
Yeah, my,
guys.
my fingers are too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess if you could wave a magic wand, what's one thing you wish AI could automate for you?
One thing, if I could really, if it's a question of the magic one, then it would be the sales in my company. Like that it can. We plan to implement that. We make outbound calls, and then it's able to do a demo, and then it's able to. That's a little bit of a stretch, because nobody is doing it right now. Like the actual selling of software being done by AI agents. But yeah, you're asking for the magic one. Yeah, then that's what I'll take. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, I've definitely been kind of involved in a few implementations where the outbound calling is done by the voice AI, but to a warm subscribed list of leads,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So it's interesting, right? And I've seen it been done for like appointment reminders or like appointment post appointment calls, things like that. But
But not
for
for the
sure.
demo, right? Then have you seen it for any the AI agent actually doing a demo? You answer, right?
I haven't seen that yet, but I think it will
No, we don't
definitely.
have it either. I mean, that would be the magic thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the tricky thing is, and that's why I think AI would never fully replace salespeople because at the end of the day, people buy from people, right? So,
I'm not
um,
sure about it. I'm not sure about it. I think, I mean, it's my guess. I mean, nobody's doing it, so it's not based on any data or anything. But I think people would have a tendency to buy from a very accurate AI, like because there
mhm.
is nothing salesy there. You don't have any problems offending the AI and saying, "Oh no, no, I don't want it." Like that whole thing can be sidestepped, and then you can make a very I mean, two AI agents can compete and show their products, and you can buy from the one. You're not hurting anyone's feelings, and you have everything accurate. That can happen, I think. I mean, I
For
think,
sure.
yeah,
For sure. It's going to be interesting, right? Because I think there's going to be a certain amount of people that will just, and I'm already hearing this, that will just be like, oh, I don't want to talk to an AI. I'd rather talk to a real person. But then there's going to be another group of people that are the opposite, that are, they don't want to be speaking to a real human, a sales rep with a commission, right? And a quota because they know that that person is trying to close the deal versus the AI. It's not going to buy a Ferrari with its commission check, right? It's just simply trying
yeah,
to do its
we
job. So
have
I feel
forgotten,
like,
yeah. Yeah, Daniel,
yeah,
we have forgotten the people who used to say that I don't want a cell phone. My land phone works really well. I don't want to carry my phone around in my pocket.
yeah,
That was not that many years ago. And I have heard the same thing when the internal combustion engine and the cars were introduced. People were saying the same thing. Oh, my horse cart works really well. I don't want any fancy thing that I'll do my horse carriages. And yeah, so I think people change much faster than we think. Like, so we'll have to see how it evolves. I mean,
for
either
sure.
way, it's okay. Yeah.
And where do you think AI is going to make the biggest impact in the housing sector within the next 5 years?
I mean, next, I think in the if you next 5 years, who knows? I mean, I think it's very hard for anyone to be living in that area, that space and time. Like where no one really knows what could happen on the humanoid side. Are we really talking about construction becoming extremely cost effective, that everybody's having a mansion, or I really don't know, like where that is going to go. But I think in the next 2 years, if you think, I think most of this leasing. the leasing agents would be done by AI. We already do that. I mean, that's super effective. I see that as a really good experience for the renter, that essentially handling everything, showing setting up the appointments, and if and all that, and then helping them with the applications, and all of that can be voice. AI is really going to take that over, I think, that whole process. So that's a front office, right? I mean, of course there would be a lot of automation on the back office as well, but 5 years, yeah, I think it'll be remarkable progress on the humanoid side, like with and that would change the industry completely, right? So in ways that we cannot even think about now. So there may be no need for affordable housing, because all housing is affordable, or things could change like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any things that you've seen? Like obviously 3D printing has become a big thing for making, for building housing quicker. Are there any other developments that you've seen that you think could actually make it, a lot more cost effective?
I mean, then like I like to think about what technology. So I kind of fancy doing it, but I do think that once the 3D printing, manufacturing homes and things like that, that they have a way of. But I think the general human tendency is to aspire for custom homes, and and I think that is how the industry would move. Like there would be humanoids, and that would make construction so much cheaper. I mean, many times cheaper than what we can imagine now. Like because the construction itself is cheaper, and wood and steel and everything is also becoming cheaper, because that's also being so. We might be entering into. We might be actually be in 5 years. We might be entering into a phase where there is so much prosperity, and this housing is is yeah people's expectations of houses are going to be much much different than it is now, and things like that. That's I do think there is a realistic chance that all those are going to happen.
For sure, for sure. Well, it's a very exciting time for sure. And Bejoy, I really enjoyed our conversation. Thank you so much for joining the show. Really love everything that you guys are doing at Bob.ai. And for our listeners, Bejoy, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
So yeah, right now, if you are a property manager, owner, realtor who is looking to have units to rent, and we have renters who are looking for affordable units, so just come to our website Bob.ai, and Bob will take you through the transaction of finding a renter and making sure that what is the rent that the government would pay, what is the rent amount the renter has to pay, and do the documentation. All of that AI would assist you. So our website Bob.ai is the place to get in touch with us.
Nice. Yeah, Bob really knows what he's doing.
Yes, yeah, I hope so.
Sweet. Well, Bejoy, thank you again, and hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank you. See you. Bye.